Gross. Okay, so this just happened. So we're gonna touch on something real quick. So I was on Facebook this morning, like I think it was like, yeah, it was like earlier this morning, and I saw a post. This original post by I don't know who, because you know how Facebook works. If you're not friends with somebody, but if somebody is friends with somebody or is like liking a page of some sorts, even if you don't like it, you're gonna see it. But this original post says, while all these 35-year-olds are raising newborns and like getting up at 2 in the morning to like feed their kid, my kids will be grown-ass fucking teenagers feeding themselves. And that's a shitty post in itself, because like there's no like people at certain ages are ready for kids and some people aren't. Some people aren't ready until they are older, and if they, you know, want to work towards their kid at 35, that's great. So a person on my Facebook friends list posted, she's a bit younger, but like not terribly younger, but like I think she's like, I don't want to give out too much information. And the girl posted about, you know, like while you're 16, 17, 18 or younger, having a kid, having trouble raising her or the kid, then I'm going to be sitting here working on my education, getting a degree, you know, all this kind of stuff. And basically that part was fine, but then like pretty much ended up bashing like any teen parents. And somebody else has gotten to this before me, but basically we were just like, well, in some instances the teens can't help it. Like, for example, there's like terms of rape, or there's sex education is horrible. Like, I want to say completely around the world, but like in America I feel like it's really bad. Like, for a developed country, it's really bad, because first of all, we don't really get a good sex ed until 14. Like, I remember being a freshman taking this, even though I physically saw in 5th grade books that were supposed to be for teaching the subject. They just don't want to anymore because it's too hard to grasp for young kids, even though by 5th grade, some girls, I knew one girl in particular, had boobs, like quite large boobs actually, and you know, she got like hella made fun of for it. I remember like I got made fun of because I was on my period, you know, like not only just like puberty education, but sex ed in America is kind of shitty. So, you know, it's a matter of like teens don't know about things, not even just, you know, about contraceptives like birth control, condoms, female condoms, you know, other methods. They don't understand that even if they use a method, any of them or multiple of them, there's still a chance that can happen. And they don't understand that the pull-out method is a stupid idea and pretty much never works. If you get lucky in that degree, literally just count yourself lucky, but continue using a condom, not only for contraceptive use, but just it can help reduce like STI and STD risks and all that good jazz. It's just good to practice safe sex. But lots of teens don't know this. So then, you know, like a man and a woman get together, they do the thingy-majigger that they do. I'm sorry, I tried to make this PG. Okay, man and woman typically, you know, have sex. Female gets pregnant. Usually at the teenage age, the males don't want anything to do with it. Sometimes they do. Sometimes the parents don't want them to have anything to do with it. And it comes down to the female. So what is the female going to do? There are a few options. There's an abortion option, which a lot of parents don't want their kids to go through, either for like morality or religious reasons, or just for like mental reasons that it can fuck up a woman, like in her mindset, regardless of whether she wants it or not. Like, it's a rough decision. There is adoption, which, you know, just putting a bunch of kids in adoption, like there's over 500,000 kids that need to be adopted in America alone. It's really hard to adopt in America, so you don't know where that kid's gonna go. Then there's, you know, like the let's have the baby, and then sometimes, you know, the parents are like, I'm not going to raise this kid for you, so you're gonna have to drop out of high school, or you're gonna have to juggle high school, get a babysitter on the side, get a part-time job, or, you know, drop out of high school, like try and get a full-time job. You're gonna have to buy everything yourself. The only thing that will give you is housing. Sometimes they kick them out, which leads to even worse things. Then sometimes, if the teen's really lucky, what happens is that the parent's like, okay, well, during the day, you know, we'll have like a family member come over, or like if there's like a stay-at-home mom or dad, they'll watch during the day, so their kid can continue the education, their high school education, maybe get a part-time job to help out, and then, you know, in the evening, you know, just juggle a job, perhaps homework, then taking care of the baby throughout the rest of the night while parents work, or, you know, go back to work, or whatever. The lighting's really fucking me up, guys. I'm really sorry. So, you know, like, we were just like, oh, you know, in these instances, you know, it's kind of shitty for them, so we should just kind of sit back and, you know, support them and all that kind of stuff. But then there was mostly family members. I think maybe all family members. I can't gauge between last names. Like, yes, family members, some not. But some were like, it's never okay for teens to have kids, which, like, I agree and I disagree because of the following reasons that I had just stated. But then, like, all this back and forth thing was going on, and then, like, me, somebody else, and then I'm pretty sure I've said something about this woman, but Lauren, I didn't see what she commented because I have her blocked. No, actually, she has me blocked because the last time that the thing happened, she blocked me first. So I can't block her because she's already got me blocked. Whatever. Her and this girl got into it, and was, you know, Lauren blocked this girl, which that's not a surprise to me at all. So, I don't know if you can hear that. That's the heater in the fish tank. Again, interrupted. I'm really sorry. I'm not a professional. Probably said something similar, but more so, like, way more, like, personally offended than anything. Got into it, Lauren blocked this girl, but, like, all I was seeing basically is that anybody who's, like, challenging the poster's opinion is butthurt, or they're, like, in a similar situation to what she said, and we are just offended, or we're being petty, and I was like, no, you know, just because we disagree doesn't mean we're butthurt or being petty, or, like, with me, I'm not in that situation. I don't want kids. I don't have kids. When I was 13, I pretty much figured out I didn't want kids, and then, like, by the age of 35, I don't want kids. I know this already, and if I get a wild hair up my ass, I said, if I get a wild hair up my ass, I'll adopt, but for now, that's not how it is for me. I said, yes, teenage pregnancy is an issue. It has gone down. And I think it's still technically going down, or it's kind of like at a, you know, like, so it went like this, you know, like, so it was like up, and then it kind of went down, and then it just kind of went like this. I don't 100% remember what I had heard, but it either is continuing to go down, like, steadily, or it's kind of remaining like a flat plateau. It is an issue. It's an issue pertaining more so to two things, I believe. One, definitely the sex ed and puberty education in high schools and all that around America, not just around where I grew up, because consistently I keep hearing that this is an issue. So that's an issue with education, but there's also an issue with, you know, like, when you're talking to, like, a little girl, and when you want to ask her what she wants to be, if she says something, you know, a lot of people immediately go, but what about being a mom, or, you know, like, and, like, kids' toys, you know, a lot of females is, like, cooking and cleaning and all this kind of, you know, stuff. So, like, it's kind of ingrained in the brains, especially of teenagers who, you know, are very impressionable and remain impressionable from their childhood into their teen years, that, you know, like, my main goal in life should be being a parent, especially for females. You know, my main goal should be, I need to have babies and all this stuff. So this lady who commented, she really pissed me off, but she did say something that was true in the fact that nowadays we can wait longer. The cutoff, I think, is like 35 for physically giving birth, but we can go like up to like 40 years old and still have okay children. There's more risks, but you know, we can have kids at an older age. We statistically live longer than we used to, like back in the old days where we would have like 8, 10, 16, 24 kids, but only like 4 or 5 or 6 of them live, and like we have better medical stuff, so we don't have to strive to be this. And I 100% agree with this. I 100% agree with all of that. And I also agree with the original poster about, you know, like striving for a better education, a better career, like not just a job, a career, but like, because like I'm 100% like I want people to get an education if they have a chance. I want people to strive to have a career, and not just a career that is expected on them, but like something that like they want to do. But like saying that, like, you know, like I'm not gonna give out where this person works because that's, you know, like she's underage, I don't want to do any of this. But she's like, you know, like I work at this place now, but eventually when I get my own degree, I want to move away from this, and that's 100% fine. You know, she doesn't want to do that her whole life because she's got a job, not a career. 100% fine, 100% okay. But saying that teens who continuously have that kind of job because even as they grow older, because they don't have the ability to get an education because of this kid kind of being a burden. She didn't say burden, but like I don't even think I could interpret it, but like saying that, like, you know, like that's not a life that they have. And there's another thing that she didn't mention, which was, you know, like, and I'm not talking about, you know, ones that, you know, raise and go get more of an education later in life or something like that, but, you know, like, she said she was not, like, being, like, she wasn't talking about those kinds of people, but she didn't say anything like that. The whole issue was that she didn't elaborate, which is an issue. Even on Facebook, you know, you have to elaborate because friends are going to see your post, family is going to see your post, strangers are going to see your post. I see people, like, people's posts all the time that I have no idea who they are because a friend of mine liked their post. So, of course, Facebook puts it front and center on my page, and I'm like, I really don't care about Fablo Darnham's fucking, like, new cool image of, like, a new cool video game. Like, I don't care about that dude's, like, fucking Facebook page. Like, Facebook, what are you doing? Facebook, why do you do this? I have so many issues with you. Why do you do this? She didn't elaborate on this. Anybody who didn't, like completely agree or, like, kind of, like, put in more stuff and, like, kind of, like, almost didn't challenge her, but, like, challenged her opinion, the family and then perhaps friends, I don't know, just, like, nod on people, and I'm just sitting here like, no, you can't do that, just because we don't 100% agree, and she is at fault for not elaborating. In the comments, she ended up elaborating, but in the original post, she didn't, so that became an issue. What she could have done was, like, you know, like, made a, like, larger comment and talk about, hey, I elaborated more on this and said, you know, if you want to know more, read in the comments, or, you know, edit it or post, because you can't edit your posts. And put, like, just to be more clear, because that's what I would do in that kind of situation. But, like, it's just an issue here for me because, like the original post about, like, shaming older parents was not right at all, in any sort of way. However, shaming teen parents as well is not okay. And she did mention that she meant, those teens that, they get pregnant because they think that it's a good idea. They don't understand how it is. Again, it pertains a lot to the education system. Which I understand, because those are, like, so frustrating, because, you know, like, I'll be watching TV, and then, like, on the fucking TV, this, like, 13, 14-year-old girl is just like, well, I want to have a kid, so I can raise it how I want to, because my mom did a shit job raising me, and I was like, clearly she did. But at the same time, mom's sitting back there like, I don't know what the hell is going on. Like, and, like, those, the teens that, you know, they just drop off their baby to their parents, like, here, raise it as if it's another child for you, and then kind of, like, let me just blow off everything in my life. I understand that perspective, because that is very, very annoying. Hang on a second. It's very annoying and very, baffling how, you know, teenagers can think like that. But then again, what are they watching on TV? Okay, what are they watching on TV? What are they reading on Facebook? What are they, you know, exploring online? How is the education system helping prevent all this? There's a lot of factors that go into this. But the main point of this is that, first of all, elaborate what you mean. Second of all, elaborate what you mean. Don't get offended or have, you know, your family and friends call other people who disagree with you, like, butthurt, petty, all that kind of stuff. Third of all, we need a better education system. But, like, fourth of all, like, unless the kid is being abused or neglected, or, like the parent's a shitty parent, don't shame teens for being teens, because likely, statistically, they probably just didn't understand. There was another post that she made, and it said, you know, like, what did you expect when you had sex? That you get a plasma TV? Which, if that's how sex worked, I would be a hella prostitute selling all those plasma TVs. But like, the thing about that post is that birth control doesn't always work, condoms don't always work, diaphragms don't always work, those weird fucking copper little rings that they, like, shove up your vag don't always work. Even if you use a condom and birth control, if you take it wrong, if you put it on wrong, you know, it can, you know, work sometimes. And then sometimes people go months without knowing that they're pregnant. I would, like, shove yourself, like, be like, go watch I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant, but, like, some of that's reality, some of that's not. I have to look on Reddit to see how real it is, but people do, and some people just don't, like, really show, and then some people don't really have the cravings, or, like, if they're tired all the time, they pertain something to that, or if their feet are sore, they think it's because they're working all the time. You know, if they're getting, like, kind of nauseous, they think it's stress. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's not black and white. Like, you can't, you know, you can't, like, I don't advocate teen pregnancy at all. I don't think you should even be thinking about having a kid unless you have, like, at least, like, an associate's degree, because, like, almost anybody can get an associate's now. And it's just a good thing to have. However, I will say, this was mentioned as well in the comments by the other person that, like, had gotten to the post before me, which I didn't see until, like, after I commented, which, by the way, is that happening to anybody else? Like, are you, like, you know, like, scrolling through Facebook, you see something, you comment on it, you know, you're just like, thinking there's no comments on it whatsoever, but then, like, after you post, you go back, or you see, like, just a bunch pop up, or, like, a few pop up, and you're just like, where'd these come from? Is that happening to anybody else? Is that just me? I'm sorry. By the way, this is, you know, like, I named this show The Coffee with the Sassy Whale, but Caitlin's drinking water right now. Her throat's really sore. And I honestly just don't feel good. I honestly just don't feel good today. But I felt like I needed to make this one, because I felt like it was something that, you know, needed to be said. But two, I'm also, like, out of content, because nothing happens in my life that's exciting. And when it does, I'm just like, I'm living in the moment. I don't want to make a video right now. But anyway, what I was going back to on the education is that a lot of people can get an associate's now. The education is a horrible factor in this, because education is so expensive. Yeah, there's financial aid. Yeah, there's scholarships, but, like, take it, like, for me, I'm not hella smart, so I don't get a lot of scholarships unless I get like, like, hey, like I got a scholarship for like $1,000, like 1,057, like a weird amount, but like that was for my science and like my science like career interests. That was like, holy shit. Like, otherwise I had gotten like 500, which is great, but that's just like paying your books. And then even in like the community college, like it's about $500 per class you take, and I was taking like 4 or 5 classes so I could get the hell out of there, College is expensive. Like, people who can't immediately afford it, or like me, like I'm lucky enough to have help. But like, if you're like with child and working a part-time job, pretty much regardless of age, you're like unless you're doing like one class at a time, and then usually like for parents they use online classes. It's really hard, and getting an education is quite hard because of the money issue. So, oh my god, what just happened? I hope that's in the video. I was just wiping a piece of dust. If that's not in the video, I sound like a complete and utter like weirdo, but like swippity swiped. I hope that goes in the video. But just shaming. Okay, so shaming a teen parent for being a teen parent is not a good idea. Like, at all. Shaming an older parent for being an older parent is not a good idea. Shaming parents in general is not a good idea. Like there's different parenting methods. As long as someone's not beating the shit out of their kid, or like being neglectful to their kid, as long as they're like trying to be the best parent they can be for their type of situation, regardless of whether they have help or they don't have help, kind of just be nicer to them, because like, I mean, let's be honest, like some people just, like, I don't even know. I really don't. I'm kind of annoyed. Just a little annoyed. Yeah. 1 second. Back again. So, the thing that I didn't mention earlier that I wanted to mention was shaming workers at jobs that aren't necessarily pristine. So, like, jobs, the kind of jobs I'm talking about. Ones where you ask, like, would you like fries with that? Shaming people for having those jobs. Like if they want to work there temporary, like most people do, great. If they want, like if they're doing really well and they're starting to build up to like manager positions, don't shame them for that, because you know what? If everybody was just temporary, the system would be so weird, because then like not very like skilled people would be managers, which it seems like that's, the issue, like, with a lot of places, but, like, usually the managers know what the hell they're doing. Like, just don't shame people. Like, if they're working, regardless of whether they have kids or not, if they're working, that's great. If they have kids and they're not working, but they're getting help so they can get an education and or can get a job, that's great. If there's teenagers who have kids and are doing great, that's great. If there's older parents, that's great. Like, what is up with all of this? It's like, I don't understand. My throat is hurting. I have, like, an old Coke over here. Gross. I don't really know what else to say about this, other than don't be an asshole, and don't let your family members and your friends be assholes. Like, if, like, I'm not afraid to call out my family at times when they're being assholes. Like, my uncle, like, was being hella racist, and I'm like, hey, how about you not do that? You know what I mean? Don't let them do that, and recognize when you are at fault. I know it can be hard, because it's hard for me too, but, like, this girl could have elaborated more, and could have directed the comments to be like, hey, okay, I did elaborate more here, so there's that. I mean, like, it sucks. It's horrible. to say stuff like this and to, you know, immediately just go like, oh, well, the issue obviously is that they just don't fucking understand, which, you know, like, yeah, usually they don't. But saying, like, they didn't keep their legs closed, or, like, they didn't use anything, or, you know, like, they're just stupid, or they're horrible people. I saw someone say, it's never okay, and they're horrible for doing that. That's just plain wrong. I'm sorry, that's just plain wrong. Anyway, that was, like, the second episode of Coffee with the Sassy Whale. I don't have anything planned, really, so let me know what you want to hear about in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out videos whenever I can. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and follow me on Instagram, as well as like my Facebook page and my MySpace page, just because I want that to be a thing again. Make sure you leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. Make sure that you elaborate on what you mean. Tell me your thoughts on teen pregnancy in general, or like, how about we just go all out? Tell me what you think about the American education system, especially the health education. Go for it. Warp it to shreds. I would love to fucking see that. Like this video. You know, give it a thumbs up. Please add it to your favorites. Tell your friends about it. And remember, be sassy, be naughty, but don't be a hoe. And I will see you guys whenever I make a new video. Bye. Man, I wish you could hear these frogs going ham on each other. Bet they're having a lot of fun out there. Lots of teen pregnancy happening out there, I bet. I'm just glad these people didn't start insulting my fucking face, or my weight, or the ring in my nose. Which, I did block a bunch of people, so they might have started, but God forbid. That would have just been the cherry on top of the fucking cake. Just, muchas gracias. Great, you know, like, thank you. Like, that would have been just the best thing ever. Like, I would have adored that, because I would have won. Like, whatever argument that we were having about our opinions, I would have won it, because once you throw in fucking weight, it becomes, like, that's a whole other can of worms. That's a whole other video. I'll link it, like, right here for you to enjoy if you haven't already, because it's just great. BT dubs again. I know there's a lot of like, what the hell do they call those? Intermissions or whatever. But, like, she's still being, like, the only word I can think of is salty. 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 Like, what is the issue here? Like, one of the last things, even though I made, no, I'm not gonna open up that box again, but basically, I said, I don't know what the hell happened here, because it went kaplooey, but I made broad statements, that same as you did, about, you know, like, she didn't, well, claims that they didn't, like, call me directly petty, or me directly butthurt, or me directly, like, offended for personal reasons, but, like, they pretty much, they made it a broad kind of statement that, like, well, these people who are commenting, you know, who like, don't get it or aren't agreeing with you are those three things, and, you know, like, all of this other stuff, and, like, that's not the issue here, but, like, why are you still being so salty? Because, like, after I made a statement about how, like, no, just because we don't agree with you, just because we don't agree with you doesn't mean we're these things, and, you know, she's like, whatever, I don't even care, which you obviously do. I don't know why you blew this out of proportion when it had nothing to do with you, and I'm like, well, it's not even that, because, like, all of these people are blowing all of this out of proportion, saying, like, people like me are blowing it out of proportion, which, it's just hilarious and advantageous. That's what was in my hair. Fluff from this new fucking shirt. By the way, last clean shirt. Hilarious. Anyway, she's being salty about it, and I can't wait for this to blow up in her face, because well, yes, I am indeed petty. Call me Miss Petty. But it's gonna blow up in your face, and it's gonna be hilarious. I can't wait. So it's been about 3 hours since I recorded this video, and yeah, okay, yeah, I know I look a hot mess. I did change my glasses, I popped a few zits, I fucked around with my goddamn hair, But the point is that I'm still getting comments from family members defending her like no tomorrow, and I'm sitting here like, okay, well, y'all are blowing it more out of proportion than I was, so I don't know what the hell you mean. All I'm doing is just continuously blocking people because of their fucking stupidity. I can't fucking understand it. If you can't admit that your family is wrong and that you are wrong in the fact that, you know, your opinion is your opinion, but goddammit, if you're gonna degrade people for stuff, then you need to go fuck yourself. You can go fuck yourself. I don't give a fucking fuck who the fuck you think you are. Go fuck yourself. I don't care if you're a teenager. You're fucking stupid. Fuck you. Also, fuck your family.